Greetings, blessed love, mighty royal welcome to my channel. This is I am Life and Light Productions, and Just Sparks, I am your host. Today, I want to reason a little bit on, you know, couple top, couple topics. The first one is, you know, the quote where it says that do to others as you want others to do to you. And to couple that, I want to speak about do to others as others do to you. So I pray everyone is feeling up full and bright and living in the light of the mind, you know, living in the truth and not in the lie. You see it. Yeah, man. So with there, man, we are going full joy in life, you know, full joy in creation, nature, full joy in self. You know what I'm saying? So I pray each and every eye is up full and bright today. Yes, and the household is full of prosperity and joy and love, and peace and virtue going through, you know. To all those that are still on the Lenten fast, mighty art of length going through, to those who are on the Ramadan fast, mighty art of Ramadan going through, you know, who those who are not on any fast, mighty heart of life going through. And, so it go. Yeah, man. So, do to others as you would like others do to you. We see it's written in the scripture, and the statement is a universal law, you know, and the universal law coincides with the laws of the universe, you know. So when you doing to others as you want others to do to you, you are creating a reality in which you would want to be in. The reality that you would like to live in. So you're treating others as how you want others to treat you. So you're putting in your mind the thoughts that other people are treating you good as you're treating them good. You know what I'm saying? And this is a universal law of, correspondence, as above, so beneath, as within, so without, and all the other laws them that goes with it, So it's very important for us to truly practice the law of doing to others as we would want others to do to us, creating a perfect image within our mind of the reality that we want to live in, and also do to others as others do to you. I would say that came about during our time of oppression. It's right when we was being oppressed, when we was placed in slavery, when our rights were taken from us and tampered with. You know what I'm saying? So we grew up in a world where we believed in good and evil, and we believed in oppression and all the things that was set before us, and as growing up in that world, when someone oppresses you or treats you bad, obviously you would want, some sort of satisfaction on your part to see something happen to them for the wrongs them that they have been doing to you. Call it vengeance, call it justice, call it what you may, So I think from my perspective that is where the phrase do to others as others do to you came in, because you're living in a world where you accepted that racism exists, you accepted that oppression exists, you accepted that, white people oppress black people and all these things. So as you grow up in your reality, all those beliefs them are hardened into facts around you. And you start to experience the very things them that you're believing. You see? And when someone does you wrong or oppresses you, or you experience that which you believe in, you want some sort of justice for it. Yes, right? And seeing that in the system there is no justice given, you know what I'm saying? You tend to pick up that sense of, well, if he do me bad, I go and do him bad too. You know what I'm saying? So you gain a bit of self-justice within the I self at the time. Yes, right? But what this does now, this perpetuates the act and recreates more of the same situation for you to continually be going through the act of seeking some sort of vengeance for what you've gone through or what you went through or what you quote unquote people put you through, you know? But when you realize how the universe works, how your mind works, how creation works, you will understand that all those acts are just images or the product of your human imagination, the product of your beliefs and your concepts. You see? When you believe something, you make it real in your world. If you believe that there is racism, you will see racism in your world. If you believe that you're subjected to oppression, in your reality, you will be subjected to oppression. You see it? So when we look at the saying, do to others as you would like others do to you, then you're given the good to receive the good. You see it? But when you do to others as others do to you, you receive bad and want to give bad. You see it? So we must pay close attention to these sayings, you know, and understand the meaning and where they derive from. And when we follow them, we create in ourselves the reality of that same thing that we're following. You see it? You know, so I just wanted to touch on that a little because I think, you know, it's of great importance for I and I going through, you know, from what we've been through and the mindset that we have been placed in. Yes, right? We have been conditioned to a mindset that was given to us by the enemy, by Vatican, to keep us downtrodden within self and in the world. You see it? And we must pay close attention to these things in removing these concepts and beliefs out of our mind that we may experience a better experience in life, you know? And I wanted to speak also on manifestation and techniques, mantras, affirmations, all these different things, you know? And what is it all about when it comes on to manifestation? You know, because as I them know, you know, I am seeking that fullness. You know, so in the seeking of my fullness, whatever I learn, I come forward and I share. Yes, I? So, in my learnings, I learned that manifestation, moreover than anything else, is just the simple way of life, natural way of life. You know what I'm saying? It's not really about techniques, formulas, mantras, and all of these things. It's about placing yourself in what you would call belief, right? Which is a deep knowing. You see it? Not what the world teaches, but a deep knowing, a deep knowledge of self. You see it? And that is what manifestation is all about. You see it? It's not about picking up quick techniques and affirmations and mantras, to gain a little bit of material things in the world. You know what I'm saying? While you can. It's way deeper than that. Because you will use the techniques and gain it, and then you will lose it right after because you do not have the mind to maintain it. You see it? So this is some of the insights within manifestation that most people are not speaking about. Now, for whatever reason they are not speaking about it, I'm not going to touch on it. But manifestation is a way of life where you have to completely change your way of thinking. Completely. You have to remove all negative thinking patterns out of your mind. All negativity that you would see as negativity. You have to remove those things from your mind in order to have a filling life of positivity, of good things, of pure and happy and joyful things. Your mind must be saturated with those things. For whatever your mind becomes saturated with, you create. It becomes your reality. And I come upon this, in my manifestation demonstrations, because I am a man. I want to demonstrate and see results before I come and I talk. You see it? So as I'm demonstrating in my manifestation, you see it? I realize that this thing about entering into a state is one of the deepest things them you would perceive. You know what I'm saying? Because it is so powerful within itself to do it. Because in manifestation, they're telling us that we have to go and visualize and all these things. Well, I don't know what other people talk about, but we must go into imagination. And with your imagination, create the feeling. Create the feeling, that energy field, that vibrational field, frequency of the state fulfilled, of your desire complete. You having it. It's yours and you're living it. You see it? And to do that, you have to be in deep thought, like I spoke about before, but I really want to speak about it again because it's something of, like you see when people acting in a movie, like when you watch, Matrix or Terminator or one of them movies, whichever movie you watch, and you see the characters them in the movie, you could almost believe that the movie is real. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we have to do in our life, in our daily life. We have to make real our vision in our mind, in our daily life. And we have to act it out in our daily life. You know what I'm saying? And we have to learn how to balance it with the present situation and the manifested reality that you want manifested, or the desired reality that you want manifested, apart from your present situation. You see? And you have to learn how to adjust your present situation to fit your desired manifested situation. You see it? And we got to remember that the mind is a garden, and every thought that we have, we're sowing a seed into that garden. You see? So it is very important for us to train our mind, discipline our mind in the way that we want our life to be directed. Because we cannot be thinking about past situations and dwelling on them, especially if they had a negative outcome. We have to more be thinking on events that has not taken place yet. And then we must dwell in those events as a living movie, and always creating more ideas and more events as we continue. Because what we're doing, we are creating our reality. And as they show us, there is a time lapse in the spiritual world and the physical world. There is a time difference, you know? And that time difference is the time where you would transcend from your old self to your new self, from your old experience to your new experience. Now, during that time space there is where everything gets challenging, difficult, tricky, because you want to vision in your mind a new improved life while you're living in your old unimproved reality. You see it? And as you're holding your meditation and your visualizations and all these things, you have to face situations in your present reality that might impose or presume lack and limitation in your present life. And those are things that we have to eradicate. You see? So one of the ways that I learned how to eradicate it is by putting it into the past. So if you encounter a situation where, you have to say, well, you don't have something. You see it? You will tell the person or you will say the statement, but quickly after, in your mind, you will confirm that that was something of the past. It happened in the past. It's a memory. So you have to place your present situation as memories of the past. And then you have to take your imaginative reality as your present moment. And in order to do that, you have to be steadfast in your vision, in your thoughts. That's what they speak about faith. You have to have faith, because belief and faith is what is creating the reality for you. Belief is that deep knowing that what you desire, the life you desire to live, is already existing and done. And you are living that life now. So you have to have a deep belief in those words and see those words as true. Then you have to control your thought by faith, which is controlled thought, in that belief there, and do not exit. You cannot come out of it until you see with your eyes that whatever it is manifest. You cannot come out. No matter what happens in your life, if it's not in accordance with your visual desire, you have to deny it. You have to denounce it. Anything happening in your present reality that is not in accordance with your desired reality, you have to denounce it immediately and put it as some memory in the past that you just remembered, in order to keep your present state manifestation as what you desire it to be. Else, you will recreate more of what you're going through in the present moment in the future amongst your manifestation. And what will happen is that you will start to get a flow where everything start working well. You're starting to receive money, you're starting to you receive the position, everything that you want. And then all of a sudden, you start to face drought. You start to face lack again. You know, it will make you, make you very, how I should say, frustrated. But it's not the frustration. We shouldn't hold on to the frustration. We must hold to the realization that everything that is happening is a product of our thoughts. And when we see that happen, we must immediately search our thoughts to find out the cause. And we must be true to ourselves. You see it? Like, for instance, me. You know what I'm saying? I was carrying on the talk that, yes, I am having everything. You know what I'm saying? Visualizing, seeing everything. Then when the money start coming and I am starting to buy things and stuff like that, I put a limit on how the children used it. Which is natural for us to do because we grew up like that you limit, don't eat out everything now. You know what I'm saying? Save some for later or whatever. By doing that, you're implying that there is lack and limitations in your life. And I was doing this. And then I would realize that moments of lack and limitations would come. So I had to go into myself to see where am I thinking lack and limitations during the day. You see it? And I had to really be true to myself. And once you're trying to put up some sort of, we don't have enough, or, saying, have to wait until, saying, all these little phrases is confirming your former state that you're still in it. And you cannot confirm your former state because that is what is already rooted in your subconscious. And as long as you confirm your former state by those statements, immediately you start to create those realities. Because those are things that your subconscious is familiar with. Now you're taking your conscience out of familiarity by placing within your mind new thoughts, new ideas, new pictures. And by staying there, by controlling your thought, focusing in those thoughts is how you will bring your desired manifestation. You see it? So it's about steadfastness. Like I would say, you must be steadfast in the way. You know what I'm saying? You must be faithful to your Savior. You see it? Your Savior is your vision. So you must be faithful in each and every way. And learn how to reason with yourself. Talk to yourself. Have that inward conversation that will always keep you in the having. And never in the not having, in the lack, in the limitations. But always in the having. And having plenty of that. You know what I'm saying? Do not limit yourself in your having neither. You know what I'm saying? Because Christ, which is the human imagination, is in the world that we may live and live more abundantly. So it is our gift, you know, to have and to have abundantly. Just as nature have and has abundantly, you know? And learning to treat others as we would like others to treat us is how we keep the way to say karma and them things there from happening to us. Because remember, you know, we have no outer forces that is our enemy, you know. No one outside of ourself is our enemy. Everyone outside of ourself that deals with us is the ones them that are manifesting our thoughts to us. And this is what we must over. So everything that we're experiencing, everything that we go through, we must see it as lessons to learn from and not as things that are affecting us. We have to look at it. If it's something that we don't desire, we have to see where we're going wrong in our thoughts so that we start to receive the things them that we do desire. And we must be steadfast. We must train our mind to be steadfast. Train our mind in the way of faith, controlled thought in one thing. You know what I'm saying? And not in many. You see it? But in one. You see it? Because we cannot serve two masters. You see it? So we have to serve one master at a time, one thing at a time. You see it? And manifest that one thing and then move on to the next. You see it? And learn. The more we learn this, is the more we will enter into the grace that is spoken of in the scripture, where you no longer need the law. You no longer live or is subject under the law to bring your manifestations to pass. But then now you are in the grace and your manifestation is just flowing like a river. Because you are able to now completely exit and enter states. And by doing that, you have no friction in your mind, in your thoughts. Your mind is totally under control. And you are using controlled thoughts continually in your mind, in your self-talk. That is another thing, your self-talk. It got to be all the day long. See, like how they tell you with the manifestation techniques and mantras and all these things. That is only for a time. They tell you morning, evening, and night. But what happened to the whole day? You see it? You can visualize and go to sleep. Yes, as I was saying, you can visualize and even go to sleep visualizing. You know, wake up in the morning, you know, have your little mantras, your little prayers, and then you go through the day. But you see, if you're not carrying that meditation with you all day long, then you will be dwelling on your current situation. And as long as you dwell on your current situation, you're giving it life. You're giving it purpose. You're giving it meaning. And you will never be able to exit the state. You see it? So everything must be combined as one. You must go to sleep in your meditation, wake up in your meditation, and go through the day in your meditation. You cannot come out of it. It's like how they say, you know, they enter into the kingdom and enter out no more. That is what we are doing. Entering into the kingdom of heaven, into our mind, you know, into our vision. You see it? And exiting from there no more. Meaning we no longer coming back out into our current situation. That no longer exists to us anymore. Anytime it pops up in our mind as something that we must realize. We must immediately realize it as a past event that we are just remembering, and quickly place ourselves back into our current state that we would like to be in. These things are very important, else we will continually be manifesting the good and the undesirable, the desirable and the undesirable into our life. You see it? And then we will be wondering if this thing is really real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we must realize too, everything, as I would say again, is our thoughts. Whatever is happening in our life is we that is generating it and operating the flow of it and destroying whatever it is, good or bad. It is we that are doing it to ourselves. No one else is doing it to us. Our thoughts are producing our reality, point blank. And this is what we must realize. Every thought that we dwell upon, be it positive or negative, is created. So we must learn to remove all negative thoughts, negative concepts, negative beliefs out of our mind. That is the only way to receive heaven on earth. Other than that, you'll be living in a world where there is two powers, good and evil, and you will have to experience the both of them because you are believing that they both exist. And if both of them exist, then both has to show themselves to you that they exist. They are your creations. They have to report to you. They have to answer to you, you know? And we must get real deep into this thing, yo. Because I did meditate, you know. I'm a watch, you know. I'm a listen within self and I say, yo, look how they used to talk about how our ancestors will go and dance around fire when they want rain. And the rain will come. You know what I'm saying? It's because we are the dreamer. And our reality, our life is our dream that we're dreaming. And once we awake within that dream, we have all power within reality. So it's to awake within the dream that we're dreaming and realize that we are the God that we seek. And we must realize the truth of that statement. And realize the truth of the statement, I and my Father are one. And meditate on those things because those are the key foundational elements for us to stand upon. I and my Father are one. You know what I'm saying? And to have only one God, which is one power, and love your brother as you love yourself. Love your sister as you love yourself. You see it. Do to others as you want others to do to you. You see it, my people. So these are the things, you know. Yeah, you gotta look out sometimes, you know. Them have some little swervely things love move around, you know. Man, so you got to watch out for them said way. You know, but we there, man, in a nature, you know, and we all free. You know, so we have to give way to them same way, you know, and try not to kill them, you know. Only if we see that they're being, you know, threatened some, you know, and they're bringing threat to I and I, you know, then, you know, we'll have to take them out, you know. Yeah, man, but, yeah, man, these is some very important points in our manifestation. It's not a jump on, jump off road. It's not an enter into the kingdom of heaven and then enter out and you're back into the world. You know what I'm saying? Is entering into the kingdom of heaven and remaining there for eternity. Remaining in your states fulfilled in that glorious life that you say you desire to live. Create it in your mind. It's your movie. You are living your movie. This is your dream. And you have all power within your dream to do all things. And you must realize that when you're manifesting and the period of time for it to manifest, you must realize that you have been living years of the wrong thinking. So there is still a lot of wrong thinkings yet to be manifested in your life. And as you come to the realization of the true way of thinking and how to create your life the way you desire, you have to apply it and never turn from it again. You see? That the remainder of time of your bad thinking, your negative thoughts, has to run out and play out. And during that time, you have to remain steadfast in your vision, denying every moment of your current situation so that your new, improved, manifested reality may come into creation. Bring it back for me. Okay. You see it, and I. Yes, I. So we do give thanks for the things that we are learning, from the greatest teacher ever. You know what I'm saying? The eye of the mind. Because I man couldn't come on and talk about where Mr. Abd Allah and where Mr. Neville Goddard and where Mr. Walter Lanyon spoke in their books. You see it? But that is just regurgitated information. You know what I'm saying? I am not one to do that. I am one to put their teachings and apply it to myself, to see for myself if what they're saying is real, if what they're saying is true. Yeah, I want to be the one to say, well, if what they're saying is true or is a lie, if them I make money off the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing that I just look at. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're bringing to the people, we're bringing the truth of the realization of self. You know what I'm saying? Which is salvation, to the people, And salvation cannot be bought nor sold. Salvation is free to them that seek it. So it used to always, 'cause more time back in the day when we used to fast and pray and go and pray for ones, the elder that was with I and was leading I at those times, used to want to charge the people that he's going to pray for. You see it? The works are done, and the people get up, But he always say that the workman is worthy of his hire. You know what I'm saying? And that those people are going to all the doctors and the doctors can't help them. And they will spend out all the money to the doctors, and then they have no help. They ain't get no much healthier. You see it? And all the money done. And then you will go to them and pray for them, and they will get healed and won't want to give you anything. You see it? So you used to always say those things, So within myself, I used to always ponder on it, So my realization now of it, which probably might change again, is that we are not supposed to sell or buy. Well, sell that which we receive out of the kingdom of heaven so that people can come and learn of themselves. It should be free. You see? It should be available freely for them. You see? That they may come and be able to eat of the fruits freely and be filled. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they see upon themselves that they will reach out to you for what you said to them, you know, or what you did, heal them or brought them to healing. Because what you didn't heal them. What we do didn't heal them. Is their realization upon their self that heal them. You see it? Now, if they see within themselves that, wow, let me just bless this person for the information that they presented in a way that I could have understood it and move forward. It's a blessing, right? But other than that, don't seek to receive anything. You see it? Don't seek to receive anything. Give yourself everything, because that is what we're learning. See yourself with everything, and once you see yourself with everything, you will continue to have everything. You see it? And you won't have to be subject to the world and the things of the world. And you would be in the world and not of the world. You see it? You'll be able to live and survive in the world and have all the things that the world has, and yet not be a part of their system in how they acquire it in the world. You will stand outside of the world and yet have all things that are in the world. And this is where we are rising to. I keep telling the eyes and the eyes them, that in this awakening, they are pushing to the people them too much material things. And that will be most people's downfall. Just trying to manifest material things, a better house, a better car, more money. That's all they're seeking after. And they're not seeking fullness of self, where the true manifestation belongs, where it begins within the self. Because to manifest, you have to manifest a new self to yourself. You have to remove the old self and place a new self there. That is the first manifestation you have to do. But many people is passing, going beyond that and seeking to try to just manifest the material things them. Trying to lift their soul to vanity. And then end up swearing deceitfully. You see it, my people? When we ought to lift our soul to the Most High, which is our first eye. You see it? And have all our desires and everything there. In that oneness with the I am, oneness with self. And when you acquire that oneness with self, you will acquire that still knowingness to walk in grace. And all things will just be made manifest to you. So it's about a stripping off, removing, to come to the I original being. Who the I originally was, or who the I originally is. That being that controls the elements, that controls fire and water and the earth and the air. We have been conditioned to think the wrong way. We are God. And this realization, or the realization of the truth of the statement that I am God, must be firmly rooted and established in I and I in order to move forward, because that is the foundation upon which we have to stand. And with our manifestation, with our mantras and our affirmations, those things, we must drill them into ourselves, deep within ourselves, because that's the only way they will stay. It cannot be for one moment. It has to be drilled in all day long. And that is why we use faith, controlled thought, to drill into you the belief that you want to believe, the concept that you want to perceive. You have to drill it in your true faith. You sight. Faith and belief works hand in hand. You sight. You can't hold the belief without the faith. You sight. And then you can't have faith without a belief. You sight. You must have something to control your thoughts in. You sight. And we must remember, do not stop thinking. Meaning, do not stop creating new ideas in your mind, new pictures, because the moment you stop doing it is the moment you fall asleep and the enemy enters to plant tares among the wheat. The moment you stop self-talking to yourself is the moment the enemy arrives. The moment you stop seeing before you your visualization and that awareness of your former or of your current state appears, the enemy has appeared. Your sight. And we must learn very, very attentively to be still and know that I am God. Be still in that still knowing. And the more we practice it, the more we will receive testimonies. Yes, right? And the testimonies that we receive is the fulfillment or the results of your demonstrations of faith. When you get results from your demonstration, yes, right? Then now, anytime you are faced with anything, you can put those experiences before you, and they will be like pillars of comfort to comfort you in the way. Yes, right? So you have to be very attentive to your thoughts, attentive to your surroundings, attentive to your life on the whole, to see when changes happen, to see when your manifestations come in, that you can use those to keep you when time seems to fall down because you started to think wrong. You had a negative thought. You had a thought of lack. You know what I'm saying? You was not full in it, and you thought some lacking thoughts.
Then I put the water around my hair.
All right, that's how you wanted it?
Stop.
You don't want it in there? All right, so I'm going to take it out. You know?
Because it's going to hurt.
All right, go. You want this one out too?
Yeah.
All right. Tell her don't put it back in your hair. Sure. All right. Yes, royal people. So we do give thanks for another wonderful session with the eyes them. And I pray that this video here was edifying to the eyes them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the eye them can, you know, see where the eyes them are going wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just as how I saw where I was going wrong, and I'm now sharing it with the eyes them. You know what I'm saying? We all have to be true to ourselves. If we're not true to ourselves, then we wouldn't be able to admit our wrongs. You know what I'm saying? And we wouldn't be able to take correction from ourselves and from others. So we have to admit our wrongs to ourselves first. Admit when we are having negative thoughts. You know, when we are having limited thinking. You know, when we are putting limits to creation. All these things is what is hampering us. For creation is limitless. It's not fixed. You see? And once you see creation as fixed, then you are putting limits on creation. And therefore, limits will be on your manifestation. You see it? Your manifestation is your thoughts. You see? Your thoughts will be made limited because of your belief of a limited world. You see it? So all things have to change. Everything have to rearrange. The whole mind, everything, once the mind is there, you know what I'm saying? Once you're there in your visual, in your vision, and you're steadfast there, your flesh must follow. So not because you're not seeing things not happening at the present moment, and you're still in your state of lack and limitation, and there is nothing moving or going, or you was just in a state of abundance and now a state of lack and limitation come in. It's for you to deny it with every fiber of your body. You know what I'm saying? And you might have to go and borrow from the store. You know what I'm saying? You might have to trust some money from someone. While you doing that, place those events in the past as things them that happened in the past, and you are remembering that, and thank the Most High that you don't have to be back there, that you have moved from there. That is the only way you're not going to create it in your future. Block it out quickly. Don't give it chance to take root. Deny it. You see it, my people. So until such time, I do give thanks for each and every eye. Once again, tuning in with I. Those who have reached this far. Yeah, man, much blessings to the eyes them, because the eyes them are serious in the elevation of self. You see it? And as I say to the eyes them, I count myself one as someone who is coming to reveal the truth. You know what I'm saying? To what is. Because as me show the eyes them before, truth is truth, all truth are truth, lie are truth, all truth are truth. A lie is a truth. You see it? A lie is a truth. You see it? It's how you perceive it. Because in order for you to move from one state to the next, it seems like you have to lie to yourself, right? By denying your present state that you're in, to affirm another that you're not in, and you are affirming it as you are in it. So according to the world, that is a lie. But in the realm of the universe and the Most High and manifestation living, that is the truest truth you can do to yourself, by correcting the negative way of thinking. For the negative way of thinking is the lie. And it is what most of I and I is holding today as the truth, and is living it as a truth. The eyes them for overs, You all are living a lie as a truth. So the lie is a truth to the eyes. And until you change it to another concept, then you will have a different truth. And that's all it is, concepts. And the concept you hold create the truth that you hold. The truth that you're living. The very concept and belief that you're holding. So yeah, people, until such time, else I will continue again. Yeah, man. Much blessings to each and every eye, yeah? I love the eye them, man. Man, say, and I want to see every eye up full and bright, and living in the light of their mind. Living in the state fulfilled in that reality, that person that they truly desire to be, having all the things they want in life, with no hindrance, with no lack, no limitation. It can only come through faith in belief, right? That deep knowing that the vision that you desire is done, and then focusing thought in that way, and denying anything else, any other thought that is not in accordance with that. Deny it. You know what I'm saying? It will have sometimes that people will come And they will give you bad news, news where they think that you should be grievous and you cannot change or come out your state. You have to remain happy. Like, oh man, this good thing just happened in my life. You know what I'm saying? That is the state that you have to remain in all day long, every day, for the rest of your life. Because if you don't, and you go back into any other state other than that joyful expectation of good always in your life, and you go into any other sort of vibrational discomfort, dis-ease, emotional distress, you start to create that into your life for you to experience. So if someone bring a news to you and it creates an emotional distress within you, if you don't correct it and deny its life in you, then you will come and experience that same emotion filling your life in a short period of time. You see it, my people? So, focus is the way. The renewal of the mind, I say. Yeah, man. Treat everyone as you would like yourself to be treated. You see it? And learn to have mercy rather than sacrifice. So, forgive rather than condemning or criticizing. Forgive and give. Forgive and live. You see it, my people? Until such time, whole I am.